So we're going to work on a renga, and it's an ancient Japanese word game, really. They were playing around with what was called the tanka, which is a 5-line poem. We're all familiar with haiku. Haiku was once part of the tanka. Tankas came first and haikus followed. It was a 5-line poem, and what these poets would do is they would sit around, usually with some wine, which always makes poetry come more easily. And there are many Canadian, alcoholic poets to be the example of that. But anyway, they would sit around with a bottle of wine or a cask of wine, and they would play this game together, kind of a call and answer. What they would do is write 3 lines and then pass that on to the next person, who would write 2 lines, and then pass it on to the next person, who would write 3 lines, and the next person 2, and so on, until they would get a poem of 100 stanzas sometimes, or 100 tankas, so more than that. Haiku grew out of that form. Eventually there was so much interest in just writing those first 3 lines, which used to be called haiku, that it became its own integral form. And Basho, for instance, used to excel at writing those initial 3 lines in a renga exercise or a renga game. So that's what we're going to do. And I want to give you a bit of advice from Basho. He said, when you are composing a verse, let there not be a hair's breadth separating your mind from what you write. Quickly say what is in your mind. Never hesitate a moment. Okay? He also said, to eat the peach, bite into the peach. So if I yell at you, bite the peach, that means hurry up, get cracking, keep moving, because you're going to be holding the person next to you up, right, if you don't keep our paper flow going. So do you see what I want you to do? Now we're all going to begin then with 3 lines and pass them on. And then 2 lines, next person says, oh, there were 2 above that, so now I have to write 3. And the important thing to remember is it is not a linear Western lyric poem. You can make all kinds of shifts in a renga. You can change the season. You can change the topic completely. We're all going to start with the same image group, but from then on, we can go anywhere we want with it. And I'll read you a renga from Basho's group. I'll pause a little long between the 3 lines and the 2 so you can hear, the difference. Riding a 3-year-old pony in the early fall. Rain falling every which way. Dusk, they're packed in the hot spring bath of Suma. In among them, a wandering priest. Pushing the talk in one direction only. Started by chance, their love gets serious. So do you see the various shifts? So as I said, don't worry about trying to make this all tie together. Read what has gone before when you get the page, and then write your piece, and then pass it on. Okay, you all with me?
So these are short lines. These are
short lines, yeah.
Very short lines.
Very short lines, yeah. Yeah, you don't want to write to the end. Kind of haiku length lines, but don't get into counting syllables, whatever you do. Okay, 3 short lines, 2 short lines, 3 short lines, 2 short lines, and we'll go around the room. We'll see how far we get. I want to give you another bit of advice from Basho. He said that when we write poetry, we shouldn't abuse God's creatures. We should not say, dragonfly, tear off its wings, pepper tree. We should say, pepper tree, add wings to it, dragonfly. Okay? So the images we're going to start with are 2 crows, falling rain, poplar leaves. So in the first 3 lines, you've got to get those 3 things. 2 crows, falling rain, poplar leaves. Write 3 lines with those 3 things in them, and then pass it on. Okay? All right, so read them over, and you're going to have trouble reading some people's handwriting, I know. So where you don't get it, make up a word, all right? That seems to fit in. Because you won't know who wrote it, so you can't go around and check. So here's our renga, beginning with: your hair like falling leaves, your eyes like those of two crows next to a poplar tree. My eyes watching yours. Looking down years of joy and sadness until tomorrow, when white falls and sun lags, and I curl up beside the fire, waiting for your words to return to me. Flames instead, they burn anyone's speaking. Grayness overrides the sky at dusk, breath stops. Reaching for warm thoughts, remember the smell of you. The chill of thinking comes slowly at night. Do not leave in sorrow. Your feet drag, but they could be winged with worry.
Two crows, falling rain, poplar trees. Oh. Wait, title.
We'll start one verse down.
Okay. Sorry.
It sounded kind of good.
It did.
Okay.
Crows 2 by 2 huddled from the falling rain in the tall poplar trees. They are silent. I watch them for a long time. What are they seeking? They start to argue as the frost nips hard. Cool air swept through their minds. Their feathers remained ruffled. The stars appear and off they fly to pluck that sparkling thing. Universe after universe speaks of space and time until dawn and the crows return. I open my eyes to find all has changed while I slept. It's not fall, but spring. The rain is warmer than yesterday.
A row of poplars in yellow fall, 2 black crows drenched. Off in the distance, the baby cries. The crows caw rude sounds as if directing the child to be silent or sleep beneath the blanket of snow. The child is silenced. The nurse has come. The crows return to their banter, arguing over nothing as more leaves fall. Gone are the crows, black and noisy. A farmer walks across his cornfield, checking for gopher holes, his gun cocked, ever vigilant, waiting for the sneaky scoundrels.
2 crows fight over compost while all around them fall poplar leaves. The sky breathes in their wings, the earth tongue kisses their feet. Their dance now slows, their wings they spread, and up into the trees they rise. The trees change with the years, yet still the crows fight. Thick, dark, red blood drops like tears. The icon is said to cry in the sombre gloom of the ancient church, but outside in the clean light, no sound is heard. I follow the crows' competition, but from a long distance, and catch my boot on an old stump. Can I still hear them, or is it my thoughts worrying me?
Well done, everyone, and thanks for reading those so well. So I think, again, I mean, if we were to go through these and give them a critique, we'd probably pick out the pieces with the strong images in them, wouldn't we? That are the ones that move us the most, that we will take away and remember. But good work.